In exactly 15 seconds, we'll be on the air.
What are you talking about? How would there be no sound at all?
Good question.
Did the intro not have sound either? The intro probably didn't have sound either, did it?
But it was good.
Can't
Visually.
near you. Okay. Hold on. We're gonna try this again tomorrow. It hasn't happened in a while, so we were due for one. Hey, hi. Thanks for coming. Welcome to the show. It's our 20th show. We're excited to be here. What else did I say? They didn't hear any of that, so I'm trying to reiterate quickly.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're
really
saying
miss
it's
anything.
only our 20th
It's only,
episode.
yeah, it's not a big
20
deal.
weeks?
20 weeks. No, that's postseason.
Oh.
Preseason we had 5 weeks, so it's 25 weeks technically, but officially it's been 20
The
episodes.
one
So
that really matters. When we started having the onion head.
exactly when we had the legal onion head, not
Yeah.
the illegal onion head. So, so furnishing for today's episode is unofficially brought to you by Face Rig and Loot Crate, who refused to sponsor us. No, I'm just kidding.
It's a tell-turn.
I asked and
We're
they
too
said
controversial.
I asked and they said maybe when people watch your show. So that's all right. I told them they could take their figurines and stuff them. All right. So today we got an interesting bits of news. The news was in the news. Did you see that the news was in the news this week?
Washington Examiner saw a headline, read a first 3 paragraphs of an article Washington Examiner had published saying something to the effect of, "What has CNN done now?" Something like that.
Do you know what CNN has done now?
Threatened a Redditor?
No. Do you know everything about that? Yes or no?
No.
Have you fleshed out? Because
you haven't-
I've been all over this story. So have
Oh.
you not been all over
What's
this story?
that? You didn't define it.
The CNN stepping in it really hard with both feet, like jumping around.
No. Do tell.
Okay.
Which CNN?
The CNN,
Oh, okay.
the one with 2 N's. Well, let's see. Let me see where I want to start with this one.
Well, did you see the memes?
I'm trying to see. Well, the original one. I'm looking for the original meme.
original
All right, so I've got this original one. Let me pull this one up real quick. If you guys don't already know, Donald Trump is the president of the United States. Let me just full screen it. No, dang it. Can't you pause the GIF?
Donald J. Trump.
Whatever. All right. So, Donald Trump shared this GIF, whatever you want to call it, on Twitter, and CNN freaked out, obviously, because this is obviously calling for violence against CNN
How dare
folk.
they.
Apparently,
Right.
I mean, I'm sure there have been a lot
Right.
of CNN signs beaten up over this, because that's what he's doing. He's beating up the logo. So I don't know how that would No. Yeah.
They humanized it too much. It's clear. It's clear. It's a call to violence against
So-
CNN reporters.
So
probably.
CNN freaked out, and of course, what do you think their first step was? Well, we're unhappy with this. This is violent. What should we do?
Quiet, please. In exactly
No,
15
they
seconds, we'll
tracked
be on
down
the
the
air.
Redditor of oh no.
Wait, what's happening? Donald Trump is president? Commie News Network? I haven't heard that.
Hold
one.
on. I was trying to bring the chat up, and I re-rolled the intro. Hello. Okay, where were we? Pulling up the chat so that I don't miss any more clues from you guys. Here we go. So what they did was they tracked down the Reddit user, which I will let them explain to you here in a sec while I try and pull up the chat. For a sec while I try and pull up the chat. One moment. CNN. Bam. All right. So this, I heard this come on the news or popped up on a page, and I laughed the whole time because these old men talking about user names on Reddit, and they're not old men, but they're too old to be saying things about Reddit.
The White House
Give us a
will
listen.
say where the president got the video, but a senior White House official said today it was not from Reddit, which is a popular internet messaging board. The problem is we and other media outlets who search can't find any evidence of it existing anywhere but Reddit before the president picked it up. Now, why does that matter? Because if you got it from that source, a whole bunch of new questions about racism, bigotry, and violence come into play.
The video shared by President Trump to his 33 million personal Twitter followers and then to 19 million more on his presidential account was apparently first posted by a Reddit user who goes by this online name and who has also laid claim to it. That user of Reddit's online message board reacted enthusiastically. Wow, I never expected my meme to be retweeted by the God Emperor himself. I am honored. But others are worried, including the Anti-Defamation League, which surveyed the user's post and found a consistent record of racism, anti-Semitism, and bigotry. This individual traffics in online hatred and at times violent rhetoric. And the ADL seems to call out the president, saying, when those on the fringes of society feel their messaging is getting mainstream attention, that should raise alarms.
The fake media is trying to silence us. But we will not let them, because the people know the truth. The fake media tried to stop us from going to the White House, but I'm president and they're not.
It all comes as the president is raging away at the media with a fiery speech and a Twitter attack on two MSNBC hosts that was so coarse, members of his own party were stunned.
For the President of the United States, the greatest country of the world, the person who is representing our country, to use that kind of language is just so inappropriate.
For many critics, it harkens back to the campaign, when Team Trump was at times accused of sharing material promulgated by racists, whether on purpose or carelessly is unclear, and inciting violence.
I'd like to punch him in the face, I'll tell you.
The campaign always denied the accusations, especially those about violence. And as Deputy Press Secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders did it again just last week.
The president in no way, form, or fashion has ever promoted or encouraged violence. If anything, quite the contrary.
I'm just going to pause right here. And this is not a slight against this woman. She's very good at her job. But she looked like a puppet. There's a Muppet. There's something about, like,
I'm getting the Muppet vibe.
Like, I think it's, I don't know, there's something about her
it's
face.
The necklace. I
There-
think it's
no,
the necklace.
it's Miss Piggy had a necklace. That's not what I was thinking.
No,
that's
what I'm
sexist. That's
What?
sexist of you to bring Miss Piggy into this. No, I don't know. There was something interesting. I don't know why. It's not like she's ugly. She just looks like a puppet.
It's the necklace.
Is it just me?
I don't see it.
It's the eyes.
In
it's like,
CNN's
it's like the
official
expression in the eyes.
response to the new video, however, the network said clearly Sarah Huckabee Sanders lied.
And we should note that this video does not appear to be exactly the one posted by that Reddit user, who noted online some edits were done to both the pictures and the sound, even as he laid claim to it. That raises questions about who made those changes. And again, with the White House saying the president didn't get it from Reddit, how did it wind up in the president's hands? And was he aware of its origin? We've asked the administration. No answers yet, Jim.
I don't know what you're giggling about. I mean, it's just dumb that they're like.
Do you know how dumb it is that they're like, where did this meme come from? And it isn't the original meme. Someone adjusted it.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
the internet.
That's pretty.
That's
no, exactly.
Reddit.
Yeah, right.
They have no idea how this works at all to think that that's a relevant question. Does the president know where this came from? No one knows where their memes come from. The guy who made this, who claimed, who took credit for it and said, "Hey, the president shared my GIF." No, actually, what he shared wasn't a GIF; it was a video. Somebody had taken this person's GIF, the person that CNN ended up hunting down. They took that and then they recropped it so it was in 16:9 aspect ratio. Re-added the sound from the original video clip and reposted it as a video. So it wasn't technically this guy's post, it was this guy's idea, turned it back into a video. So, which raises questions about who else is working in this conspiracy against CNN. The internet is. Everyone on the internet is.
Racism, bigotry, violence.
And violence. It's just, I was laughing because it's absurd to see these people who are so out of their element discussing this, while at the same time pissed off at Trump, who's just like, I tweeted a GIF, what do you want? You know? He's like not twice their age. He's like 30 years older than these guys, and he's like got the internet down, and they're concerned and baffled. And I'm sure a lot of that is probably not real baffling and concern, but they have a lot of viewers who have no idea what this is, and they're like, you should be afraid. You should all be very afraid. There's people conspiring.
That. I'm like, why couldn't CNN be as entertaining as Reddit? They have a lot of capital. They have a lot of assets in motion, but then I'm like, no, I guess they're like, I always think their average viewership is what, like over 60, right? Yeah, something like that. Maybe it's 60.
All right, let me grab this real quick. This is what CNN said when they released a story talking about, hey, we found the guy. Captures, screen captures? No.
65
says
sounds
65.
good.
He said what?
65. Depends how you measure the average, I'm sure.
Oh, average. I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about the difference in their ages. And I'm like, he's not 65 years older than these guys. Come on now.
Yeah, he is 70-something.
Average is 65. Next year, it'll be 66. The year after, it'll be 67.
And then it'll be 0.
No. Pretty soon, that's going to start jumping around because of different people's life expectancies. You're going to get, I don't know, there's going to be a whole bunch of people who, like, all the 67-year-olds die off, but all the 90-year-olds stay there, so it like jumps up to 82.
Is there a 67-year-old culling I don't know about?
It doesn't necessarily. When you're at a lower level, everybody turns from 23 to 24 to 25 mostly, but then you get up in the high ends. It depends on your life experience, your genetics, how long you live. Don't look at me like I'm crazy. There's something there. There's something in the statistics there.
I'm waiting for an opportunity to use the word decimated.
Why? Because it's a good word. I was trying to find something.
Constantine says Fox is 70.
Fox is 70. Yeah, well, CNN's at least beating Fox in the race to the youngsters.
Yikes. I don't know about that one. Whoa. How about that?
Okay, cool. Well, this might actually work.
We're going to talk about what they did in response to it?
We're gonna talk about what they did, how they announced this. All right, let's transitioning over to here. How CNN found the Reddit user behind Trump wrestling GIF. This is from CNN, from Andrew Kaczynski. So this was his, hey, look at me, I tracked the guy down. I got vengeance for it. Can you guys keeping an eye on the chat? By the way, it's out of my line of sight. It says, the Reddit user who initially claimed credit for President Donald Trump's tweet that showed Trump tackling CNN. It's just so funny. He was tackling CNN. That's not a person. It's tackling as sorry.
Business.
That is a weird sentence.
It doesn't work as well as the GIF. Like the GIF does the job.
The sentence doesn't make sense, which just illustrates why they're stupid. People are going to go out and tackle CNN. Anyway, issued an apology, Tuesday for the video and other offensive content he posted one day after CNN identified the man behind the account and attempted to make contact with him. Okay, so Reddit user Han A-hole Solo first shared the GIF last Wednesday of Trump pummeling a wrestler with CNN's logo and posed on his face. CNN could find no earlier instance of the GIF. The GIF was later edited into a video with sound and tweeted by the president on Sunday. I was waiting to see if either of those two gentlemen said GIF and if they said GIF or GIF, and then they like got into an argument about it. Because anyway, but it didn't happen. I was very disappointed. Let's see. It is.
It's GIF.
It's like peanut butter, you know. Not to be confused with gift. See, I'm cycling strangely in this one. So, all right. So now the user is apologizing, writing a lengthy post on Reddit that he does not advocate violence against the press and expressing remorse there and in an interview with CNN for other posts he made that were racist and anti-Semitic.
If I post a good enough meme, I can get on CNN.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Well, people are trying.
And I like. Did you read Constantine's thing? If I made a meme, or I guess he said he did, made a meme of CNN gassing CNN, what would happen?
Oh, you know what though?
It reminds me of one of those posts about like I want to see a transsexual something. Like I want to see a transsexual shoot a gorilla.
I want to see a transsexual something.
Shoot a gorilla while their parents are in the wrong bathroom or whatever. Just those things where they mix all the memes together. You know what I mean? It's like see while the internet just takes a week to figure things out.
That's forever in internet years. So there's a lot of this. He's complaining about things the guy said. Wow, stop zooming. And he had posted, as a lot of people do sometimes on Reddit to get a rise at other people, he posted some stuff on there that was unsavory. This CNN GIF was not in that category, but they found him and then dug around in everything else in his garbage and found things that people wouldn't be terribly proud of. So, later down, he says, after posting his apology, Han A-Hole Solo called CNN's K-File to confirm his identity. Timeline on that's weird, but I'm going to stay out of that right now. In the interview, Han A-Hole Solo, I'm just going to keep saying it all the way out like that. Yep. Sounded nervous about his identity being revealed and asked to not be named out of fear for his personal safety and for the public embarrassment it would bring to him and his family. Why? No, I think it's a bit weird to say that. By the way, we were talking to him and he was scared. He was scared we were going to tell everybody who he was because that would be bad. Like it's just stated in such a, nice firehouse. Be shame if something happened to it kind of way. It's so...
Firehouse?
Yeah. What? Well, you burned down a firehouse. Who's coming to help? That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
I'm losing track. Where was I? All right. Bring to him and his family. CNN is not publishing Han A-Hole Solo's name out of benevolence.
I love that usernames on Reddit can just be like thrown around because like this member of the conversation's name was
yes. Now Onion Head and anyway. Trying to finish this part. CNN is not publishing his name because he's a private citizen who has issued an extensive statement of apology, showed his remorse by saying he has taken down all of his offending posts, and because he said he is not going to repeat this ugly behavior on social media again.
I'll find it.
Ugly behavior on social media?
Oh, he promised he wouldn't. He promised he wouldn't. In addition, he said his statement could serve as an example to others not to do the same. Before I continue, let me just once again. It literally just said, the only reason we're not bringing embarrassment and danger on this person is because he said he was sorry. Yeah. And this is the part that really gets me. In addition, he said his statement could serve as an example to others not to do the same.
Do you think this is true about them? Like, do you think that maybe they were jerks, but this is actually Han A-Hole Solo's reaction? Do you think or was there like a knife to his ribs or something?
See, that's okay. So yes, I think hello.
He thinks hello. Don't say it.
So yeah, I think there was definitely there was obviously pressure there. CNN's like, look at this terrible, horrible person, and we have everything he's ever posted on the internet ever. Wouldn't you be like, could you not?
Okay. Yeah.
So like that's his. Whether they have to actually put the knife to his throat or not, they don't have to. They know that they're lording this over him, and they know he knows that, and we all know that they know that he knows that they know that we know. Everyone knows. The difference is they're being so blatant about it. They don't have to put it in there and go, we were gonna publish his name, maybe, but He said he was very sorry, and he's not going to do this again. And he said, you shouldn't do this either, or we might come for you the way we will come for him if he does this again. That is almost exactly how they're phrasing this. And of course, the line everybody freaked out over, CNN reserves the right to publish his identity should any of that change. Legally, there's nothing wrong with having that, saying that. But why would you say it in your article? That's something you tuck away in the small print or whatever, and when he kicks up a fuss, you go, oh, I'm sorry, if you look here, we reserve the right. But no, he says this is an example to all of you. And by the way, he's not even safe either. We still have this knife to his throat. Make no mistake. There's just something so dirty and underhanded about the way those paragraphs were just put together.
Individuals act. Organizations can't act by their nature. I've never been hit by an organization.
Yeah, so
who wrote this? Maybe they're just,
Well, it was Andrew Kaczynski, and his editor apparently added that line in after he wrote the story. That's what people are saying.
That's odd.
So you do know he doesn't just get to post to CNN before they see it. Like, this went through a couple people before it hit the internet.
Do they get to post?
He doesn't just throw a GIF up and let everything fly loose. No,
do they get to post? Do they get to message Reddit users without going through an editor?
I don't think it's ever come up. None of them know what Reddit is before last week. All right, sorry. I have been missing the chat. 4chan apparently has a lot of info on CNN journalists as retaliation. CNN threatened to release name, address, etc. Wow, getting blackmailed by CNN. What a story to tell your grandkids someday. Is CNN a mob boss? Sounds like it. I mean, obviously, there's ways to take this, and there is the benefit of the doubt that maybe they were just really, really high on the fact that they're like, we tracked down a guy on the internet. He thought he was invincible, but no, we're big and bad, and they kind of were riding off that high. I mean, because he's like, we found him, we're amazing, and everybody's like, you do realize what you did was douchey and is maybe illegal? We're going to have to look into the fine print on this. That might be illegal. And he's, whoa, I just stated it wrong. Possible. The benefit of the doubt there. But it's just...
You're too kind.
You're
too kind of throwing around these benefits.
Here's the point. It doesn't matter if that's how they meant it or not. The point is, their reaction to Trump getting one over on them is to hunt down this guy who has nothing to do with how viral this thing went. To hunt him down because he's a small fish that they can pummel into the ground. Because rather than striking back at Trump, and he goes, yeah, how about that facelift? And they're like, don't poke him anymore. Don't poke him anymore. He hits back. Find the Reddit user. Pummel him into the ground. Because Trump is making an example of us. We need to make an example of somebody we can pick on. So they picked on a small guy rather than somebody their own size, because when they do, they keep losing.
How long before they're cannibalized?
My screen? Your screen? Our screen?
My screen.
Oh, okay. Yeah. What?
How long before they're cannibalized? How long before other liberal news medias, legacy liberal news medias, turn on them, do you think? More than a year?
Well, that depends. There's grades of that.
Oh,
so,
sure,
well, I mean, like BuzzFeed was getting kind of like, ooh, look at CNN kind of stepping in a bit, because BuzzFeed's like, we're not like real news.
Exactly.
We're not real news. We're BuzzFeed. Everybody knows we're not real news. We're in this corner here with Reddit and 4chan. Sure you are, BuzzFeed. All right, what's this you got here, Joe?
Oh, I shared it on Facebook. I just thought
what you got here?
To Han A-Hole Solo's situation.
Salo. On Hey-Hole Salo. Sorry, what? I can't read it. You have to read it for me.
Are you serious?
Oh, never. I was looking at the tiny thumbnail. I can't read it down there. It says, I would like to present my client's internet search history from that evening. And he says, I'd rather just confess to the murder. Is that swimmer guy? Who's that?
This side, dude. I don't know.
That looks like world record setting swimmer guy.
Ryan Lochte?
Oh, you mean Phil? Oh, wait, was Phil?
It's really sad that I can't remember his name. I should know.
Michael Phelps.
Phil. Michael. Who?
Michael Phelps is the big guy, but
is that not
Ryan
Michael
Lochte's
Phelps?
Another, I don't know.
I don't know who that is.
I don't think so.
I don't think that's Michael Phelps.
Immaterial. So CNN is acting like dirtbag lawyers. Are there anything? Yeah.
But I repeat myself.
Yeah. So what ended up happening was everyone, who's like on the internet, that small group of people who are on the internet and know what Reddit is, they obviously didn't take kindly to the idea of a big corporation like CNN full of a bunch of 50 and 60-year-olds going, what's this Reddit thing? Smash it with a hammer and burn it with fire. Nobody liked that. And so they were saying, this is an example to everyone else that they should not post memes about CNN. Do you remember when everybody at the zoo said, please don't post memes of Harambe? Do you remember that?
I do not.
Yeah. The zoo was like, please don't. It's unkind. We'd like to send it out far and wide. Everybody, stop posting memes of this specific thing. Remember when they were like, hey, Pepe, don't post any more Pepes.
Oh, yes. I didn't. Constantine
Please.
says the ADL, the Anti-Defamation League, was the one that declared Pepe to be offensive.
Oh, yeah.
What is the ADL? I thought it was a Jewish defense.
No, it's the Anti-Defamation League. They're the ones who... Yeah, well, they...
What's the Anti-Defamation League?
It's the
Thanks,
thing, man.
dude.
Yeah, it's the ADL. That's the ACLD.
I tore my ADL. Oh. That guy sucked anyways.
So as what... as per usual, the... let me see. Yeah, it's too much of a grab bag right now. Yeah. Let's see. What's a good one? Here's one.
I wish the founding fathers could see memes, bro. I really wish they could. Like the memes they would make, I would read.
Where was I looking? Nope. All right. Well, I was trying to bring a bunch of these up, but there's too much on the screen right now. Start grabbing me some of these.
Grabbing what?
Great CNN memes. So, of course, as per usual, everybody on the internet was like, what? Don't do what? Don't do what? Okay, we'll do it. Bah, bah, bah. And they started making CNN memes. Of this one was my favorite. I'm just gonna say this right now. How do I view this? Speaking of don't know how to use the internet, open tab. Here we go. Here we go. Boom. Here we go. This one perfectly describes the situation. CNN did nothing wrong. I deeply regret what I have done and thank CNN for their mercy. That is exactly what his apology sounded like to me. In fact, I was like, I should make a meme of, oh, no, wait, there already is one. Yeah. This is CNN holding that poor guy. This is,
wow.
That's Han A-hole Solo. They found him.
It does not seem like it's happening under duress. I'm impressed.
Yeah.
They could have photoshopped that better, though. Just get the soldiers out of there.
They could have photoshopped it better. My favorite part is people are on board with the idea of, let's do this of CNN's logo, and let's not even make it look realistic or like somebody wearing a CNN shirt. It is literally a personified logo. That's what pissed them off. That's what we're going to keep doing. And they are. And that's what makes it beautiful.
Oh, somebody just needs to come up with for the I don't know what it could be, the CNN version of Breitbart News, and put a bunch of like CNN
version of Breitbart. Yes, sorry,
yeah.
You confused me.
We
gotcha.
We went to a website that was not.
It was not Breitbart. The I and the E were switched.
Yeah, but it was like it was an imitation, clearly intended to take some of the value from CNN from.
Yep.
I'm an idiot.
From Breitbart.
From Breitbart.
Yeah. So one of my friends posted this and said, another stupid thing from Breitbart. Can you believe their, former editor-in-chief or whatever's in the White House or something like that? It was not Breitbart at all. But it just, feeds into that. What is the... Oh, man. You know what? I'm not going to be able to find it. But, yeah. So the internet went about making memes, making merry memes as they do. They call that the Great Meme War. And last I checked... There were, what was that you had? Pull that story up. It's okay. Don't. It's all right. So pretend I sent you the link. I sent Joe this link today to some random website he knows nothing of.
I got the YouTube video of the memes. I don't know if you want to see any of that.
Hey, there we go.
Yeah. Go for it. Let's do that. Bring that up.
It's got the terrible logo in the bottom right though, so if you can cut that off.
Hey, you know what? Make it full screen. It'll disappear. I promise. Watch. Almost. Doesn't matter. All right, yeah. So this is Trump vs. CNN Ultimate Meme Compilation. Thank you, InfoWars. Hey, look at you.
How edgy can we
Look at you. Here? Look at you. All right, go whenever you're ready.
I don't know. Looks like there's Loki.
Is there audio? Is there supposed to be audio?
Do you want audio?
Doesn't matter.
I didn't think audio mattered.
This is such a perfect. Look at that. I've got hair. See that? That's my hairline.
Oh, this is a different one?
There's tons of them. Yeah. He was on the wrestling a lot actually.
The article said like 20,000 $1 reward for best meme with CNN.
Yeah. InfoWars giving out $20,000 to the best. The best? The faces they're picking. I love that one. Oh, there's any example of somebody beating somebody else down works for this. That's all. I don't know why. Okay, I haven't seen most of these. I've seen a lot, and I haven't seen most of these. That's how many there are.
What is this?
Oh, wait. Is that Happy Gilmore?
It looks like it,
I
yeah.
think Constantine is right. TV is reliable. The internet rots your brain.
Yeah. Pretty. Oh, that one was I saw that one was my favorite. It's from Fight Club. Punch himself in the face. Trump wins. I love the screenshot faces they pick for him.
I love it.
FNN.
I love Pepe. Pepe's so good. That's a tilter. Literally.
Oh, you know what that is? That's Shakespeare in the Park. That was the one that everybody's protesting because they were killing Trump. Put CNN's face on. Whoa. I don't know who that was, but that hurt. The price is wrong. You've seen that, right? It's Happy Gilmore when Bob Barker from The Price is Right is beating the crap out of Adam Sandler. Classic.
I saw it once.
Once is enough. It sticks with you.
It's probably good.
Yeah, probably. So somebody posts one of those. Somebody makes one of those, and then Trump retweets it. I hope Trump. Can you bring up Trump's Twitter line? See if he's been posting any of these. Because the only reason CNN got pissed was because he retweeted it. And he shared it. And it, like, embarrassed them. And so they, like, lashed out irrationally. And so, like, what are they going to do now? They're just going to go hunt down all of these people and be like, everybody, stop the presses. Stop everything. We got to find 17,000 different users who posted 17,000 different memes.
No, just the Amor said accurately. It's just a popularity contest now. It's only a big deal if the Trump tweets it.
Mm-hmm.
No, I see your point though. I mean, it's like it would be easier the more dirt there was on each individual, right? So
Yeah,
if there was like a big brother, if there was like a figure,
it's almost like the I'm Spartacus thing.
come on,
You ever seen Spartacus?
I am Spartacus.
Yeah.
Oh,
The end of Spartacus. The end of Spartacus.
No.
It's not the movie Gladiator.
Tell me on. Go on.
So at the end, it's been years since I've seen this. At the end, essentially, they're looking for Spartacus among like the gladiators people, and they're just like, which one will you as Spartacus? And they're like going to kill him. So they're like, which one's Spartacus? And somebody who isn't Spartacus stands up and goes, I'm Spartacus. And somebody else who isn't stands up, no, I'm Spartacus. And everybody stands up and they're like, oh, I'm Spartacus, except Spartacus. So they know who actually is. No, that doesn't happen. I just thought, I'm like, wait, what if they're just like, obviously you. But it's sort of just like, oh, you're here for the guy who posts bad memes? That's everyone. You're after people who are going to diss on CNN? That's all of us. So, like, what are you going to do?
I got the one just from July 2nd. That's the only one I see.
Oh, that's the only one? Oh, okay. All right. Well, he hasn't. Donald Trump Jr.'s been posting some stuff, but I haven't seen memes flying around.
I had just a short thought earlier, and I want more tech-savvy take on it. Wouldn't it have involved probably the verified email address of a Reddit account to find this Han A-hole Solo character? Like, what if it was a throwaway account? People make throwaway accounts all the time on Reddit.
I saw the main thing I saw posting on Reddit and Imager the next day was like how to successfully make a CNN meme, and it was just like random email address, new account. There you go.
No, that's what I'm saying. So like,
yeah,
it makes me think that this kind of did you hear that? Yikes! This kind of hunting down is like an aberration. Would be a lot harder. I guess maybe unless there's like a super well-established Reddit user.
That's what I was gonna say. He was probably well-established.
Okay, yeah.
Well, he had posted a lot of things that were unsavory. Oh, Jeez, you looked over like somebody was sitting over there. Freaked me out. He's looking at his monitor. I was like, no one should be there. Yeah, so my biggest problem isn't that, hey, this guy was anonymous on the internet and they tracked him down and that's just BS. The bigger part of that is that they're coming for the jokes. They're coming after jokes. Like, I would be upset if he said, like, literally, like, well, that CNN station somebody should go up there and beat up all those CNN people. And they're just like, let's find that guy and hunt him down. And he's like, it was an anonymous message board. I was just goofing around. Like, there would be some sort of like, okay, I can see both sides of this. But when he just makes a joke that is so common, like there's nothing spectacular about that. If you were going down Reddit and you saw that, you'd be like, meh, huh, and you keep going, right? You wouldn't go, oh my gosh, has anyone seen this? It's a CNN posted on a guy.
That's only because we're so desensitized to violence.
Desensitized or not, it is normal, is what I'm saying. This is average. So it's not even just that it's CNN, and it's not even just that it's, oh, and there's violence involved. This is the specific instance, and this is the specific time, and this is the specific GIF that they decided to go, you know what? We're going to decide what is and isn't okay to post in GIFs and memes on the internet now. Like, they haven't, like they said, it's weird to see social media on the news. CNN has officially, like when Hillary said, Pepe's a hate symbol, have you seen him? And then everybody's like, no, let me go look. CNN has officially been like, here's Reddit, here's the thing, we've talked about it before, they'll reference back to it in future stories, but they've officially started picking at jokes. So when you post a meme, now there is precedent set that, well, you got to be careful what you're putting in your memes. Like, who designed that meme? Who actually overlaid the logo of a multinational, multi-billion-dollar company into a 15-second video? Because that's what's important. That's whose life is going to be ruined. Just puts
only if they verify the Reddit account with their email.
That shouldn't be the case. You shouldn't have to worry about your jokes. You shouldn't have to worry about your jokes.
Well, who declares CNN the arbiter? The arbiter of what is allowable memes?
Well, that's the thing. They're not.
There you go. That's my point. There you go. It won't be an issue because nobody will.
Well, here's the thing. It wouldn't. Well, it wouldn't be an issue if this guy, if that was the only thing this account had ever posted, and if there wasn't anything the least bit. Why am I so short today? Ooh. If there wasn't anything the least bit compromising on his account other than this.
So you're saying if they didn't have any dirt.
If they could not find dirt dug up on him, do you think they even would have like brought it up? Been like, this guy, he's the one who did it. What about it? And I don't know, make him apologize. You know, why? I don't know. The only thing they had on him was just like, by the way, you've said some really off-color things that are anti-Semitic and sexist and whatever. Dude, that was just jokes on Reddit. Doesn't matter. Does not matter. So the only reason they had dirt on the only reason he apologized is because they had dirt on him. If he hadn't posted other dirt, the actual nugget they were digging for, the CNN GIF, there was nothing wrong with it. Everyone knows there was nothing wrong with it.
So
they weren't hunting after a bigot. They were hunting after somebody whose jokes they didn't like. That's what I'm saying.
What are you gonna do about it? Stop making memes? I'm afraid, dude. I'm gonna stay off Reddit.
What do you want to do about it?
4chan.
I don't know.
We should make an ultra meme.
Chat, what do you want to do about it?
Yeah, what should
everybody?
We do? Give me a.
This is where the conversation starts.
How can we?
But we never finish it. So that's.
Can we post like the? How can we pit the legacy media against each other so they spend all their resources destroying themselves?
We don't have to. We elected a man who will do that for us.
Well, I'd say
we elected a man. I didn't. I'm just full disclosure. I didn't elect him.
Yeah, I'm not an elector either. Full disclosure, I don't think Joe is.
Well, no, seriously, there is some truth and somewhere in the back of a lot of people's minds. This is the person we put in office, who would go, "Hey CNN, there's a meme for you. Have a field day," and they go ballistic.
Did they? Looks like it.
Yeah.
Did they? Yeah, we just went.
Yeah,
so. They did. They went and hunted a guy down on Reddit. Who? I don't know. For that, I don't think any big multi-billion-dollar corporation has hunted a guy down for something so just, I don't know, punitive? Trivial. Is that the right? Trivial. Yeah, it's just so petty. So petty. And it wasn't even a person. It wasn't like the CEO of the company. His face was plastered on there. And he's just like, this is personal. It's not, though. Like, it's a logo. Like, it could have been the McDonald's Archies. You think Ronald McDonald would have been out there? Like, who posted this?
That sounds more like it, that voice you just did.
They probably would look like.
Yeah, I feel what you're saying. I feel
Speaking of
yeah.
clowns going around frightening people. Whoa, hello. Amor says it's such an interesting phenomenon. Wow, I need to zoom in. I saw Pokemon. Interesting phenomenon. It's like the internet has given life to pitchforks and mobs again. A person's life can be ruined through just posts on the internet. After Veritas busted the Russia story, they need something to talk about. Well, yeah, and also that was CNN too, wasn't it? They're not having a great couple of weeks. Right before
Veritas?
Yeah, right before.
Didn't they say
no, Veritas is. CNN isn't. CNN's the one that they were slamming on the Veritas video. So CNN right before Keith. What's his last name? Not Olbermann, the other guy, O'Keefe, James O'Keefe. That's why I couldn't think of it. James O'Keefe posted that video like the day before. They had to like fire 3 editors and writers for like fabricating a story, and they're like, "Oh, whoops, my bad. None of that was true. It was about Trump and Russia." So they had to fire them, and then the next day, O'Keefe put out his video, his first video, and then more after that. Wasn't he supposed to post one yesterday? I saw him tweet, and he was just like, "Oh, this sucks, and by the way, later we're dropping another bomb." Or I thought so. Maybe not. Can you
truth bombs?
Can you look up James O'Keefe or Project Veritas? See when was the last time they posted something. This is why we have a voice of Joe. Yeah. So they busted the Russia story. They need something else to talk about. And as I was saying, this is why we elected Trump, was because he's the guy who does that. Because he's in a position where anything he does is scrutinized to the nth degree. And technically, the only reason, I mean, think about this. The only reason that they were set off was because this was shared by Trump, right? If somebody, I mean, if Ben Shapiro shared it, do you think they would have freaked out? No, this is Trump. How dare he incite this violence? Nobody would have said that was A, inciting violence, and B, they wouldn't have hunted the person down and made them pay. But because it was Trump, suddenly the nature of this thing has changed. So, like, I don't think there was any other option for a president who would do that, who would jump on his social media and fire away like that. Because he's a proxy. He's a representative of the people.
He is.
A representative
He's a
of
public
the
servant.
Pepes and people. This will eventually happen. James O'Keefe, body found. Yeah,
Suicide. I like that. I like this Constantine fella.
Ruled suicide. Yep, probably.
Oh my gosh.
I'm on Veritas's page. I don't know what
It says now hiring. Maybe some of those CNN reporters that had to quit. Anyway, Jimmy Carr. What's the? Yeah. Okay, I don't see anything new on there. Lame. That's lame. I was hoping. Yeah, he said he was like when he posted the third video or however many that was, the most recent one last week. He was like, "All right, well, see you guys after the holiday. We're gonna hold off through 4th of July and then." Or maybe, you know what he probably is doing? He's sitting back just holding it, being like, I'm going to wait till this is just starting to die. Till CNN's name is just starting to not be in headlines anymore. People being like, can you believe? Like, their whole, is the whole walkway dog crap because they're stepping in nothing but it. And then as soon as that stops, he's going to be like, oh, CNN? Did people stop talking about CNN for a day? Bam, there it is, the next one.
I like that thesis. Yeah, they probably, have a lot more.
I mean, if I wouldn't be like, pile everything on. That way everybody could just gets lost in the shuffle, you know? Nah, you got to wait. You got to drop those things out in little tiny bits. Oh. What are you giggling?
I'm just looking up CNN
That
news.
looked specific. The head of CNN, we talked about this on the show months ago. That was the guy who said, you know what? It was probably our fault, CNN. We were the reason Trump got elected. We played too many of his speeches.
Right.
We let people, hear what he had to say, and they liked it. We should not have done that. As a news organization, we should not have let the nation know what the people they're electing think.
You have to elect the president to find out what he thinks.
Thank you. Oh, that was good. Thank you, Nancy Pelosi.
I like this headline here. It says CNN now losing to Nick at Night in prime time ratings war.
Oh, that's sad and funny at the same time. Let's see.
I just really wish they would call it May May. Then I'd laugh even
I need to
harder.
find. I know. I wanted to hear them just be like, "There's a thing called Reddit, and people post gifs on it, and various memes, you know, and which we've known about for years." We say, definitely not.
Every 19 minutes, someone dies
Whoops.
from an accidental drug
No,
overdose.
no, don't
Most
tell
of the
me.
time,
Say it ain't
some
so.
prescription drugs like oxycodone.
It ain't
or
so.
ibuprofen.
There it is. There it is. I found it.
All
I
belong
found it.
to a family of drugs called.
We don't need to hear about opioids.
His handwriting is pristine.
Did you know that opioid prescriptions dropped out, but dropped, but remain high? That's what this headline started playing. Sorry, I don't know.
The rate, you know,
Oh, so they did go down, but they're still
Yeah,
they didn't go
dropped,
down very
but
much.
remain high.
as they do when talking about the national debt, they probably mean the rate of increase decreased.
Yeah.
It's only increasing by 1.5%
increasing
per year,
slower
not
now.
3% per year.
Yeah, I
anymore.
got a pay raise decrease this year. I didn't make as much more than last year than I did the year before that. Did I say that right?
Wait, hang on to that thread. Keep going. Yeah, do something else, I guess.
Something else. I was trying to do that same thing, but you kept dragging me back into the conversation. There was an interview way back in the day before the inauguration, and I saved this, and I think it's on my smartphone somewhere. So I'm not gonna pull it up. Go look it up. The head of CNN, the same guy whose name I can never remember, bald guy, glasses. He said, "You know what? Trump just doesn't understand that he needs to
Jeff Zucker.
He needs to get along with the media. Like CNN is one of the only stations that plays in capital cities all around the world. We essentially shape the worldview of the president.
Spooky.
And what's sad is he doesn't even mean it. He doesn't even realize he's saying such an inappropriate thing. He thinks that's the way his job should work, and that the president should just respect that. You know, like politicians should." Excuse me.
Where else
But
can people
essentially-
get their news?
But essentially, all he's saying is, you do realize we can make everyone hate you for things you don't actually think, right? Like, why is he not getting along with us? It's in his best interest to get along with us, is all we're saying. It'd be a shame if people mistook things you said out of context, unfortunately, due to us having to cut due to time.
Oh my gosh. The slow descent or ascent into that accent was pretty good.
Hey, well, you know, that's how your career goes. Next thing you know, you're a mobster, and it's like, what? Yeah.
I don't know half of you half as well as I should like, and I like less than half of you half as well as you deserve.
Hey, there you go. Exactly that. That's what I said.
They're hosed. CNN is host.
CNN is host. So yeah, what's your prediction for how much longer they can last?
I like
before they
RT.
disappear?
I've discovered this recently. Sorry, prediction
Retweets?
for what? I should have said. Constantine said only in 2017 is RT more reliable than CNN. Russian TV.
Russia
television?
Today.
Russia Today.
Pretty sure it's Russia Today.
Okay.
Because I've heard a lot of people talk about Russia Today and RT, and I just assumed they were the same thing.
Al Jazeera. I learned what Al Jazeera was like
Somebody
2
look that
weeks
up.
ago.
Yeah, oof, they're spooky. So I see a lot of people. This is my question. What Russia Today? How come everybody's like Russia's hacking the election? But here's a news story from Russia Today that we should all listen to. What's the
I
difference?
don't think it's the same people.
It
I don't
doesn't
think you're
have to-
describing the same people.
What's Russia Today then?
Russian news? I don't know if it's
No.
sponsored by Russian government. I'm curious.
Well, see, that's the weird thing. Like, I get a sampling poll of things that fly by on my social media. And obviously, there's people I do and do not agree with. But there are mainstream and less mainstream opinions. And so, like, videos from Russia Today come out, and they're like, oh, yeah, all my friends who usually like BuzzFeed articles and things, like it and share it. And they're like, hey, look at this. I'm like, do you even know what RT stands for? Because yesterday, you were just like, posting GIFs about Vladimir Putin being like the devil, and I guess the new president lives in Moscow now and stuff like that. But I don't. Maybe there's more of a separation there, but it would be like, hey, those darn dirty Americans are terrible, but that Fox News is great. Have you heard of them? They have some great ideas there. Like, I don't. To me, it seems like that.
That's
I don't
weird.
I don't know enough about what about what I just said is weird. I said a lot of things.
That those people would go to RT as an official source.
That's. Thank you.
What you described.
Yes, that part of it is very weird. It's like, and I've said this before, and it hasn't gained a lot of traction, it's like the same people saying You're stupid if you think there's any possibility that vaccines can hurt you at all. At the same time, big pharmaceutical companies are keeping weed off the market because it can cure cancer, and they just want to pump you with poisonous chemotherapy. The same people posting those. This big company just wants money, but this other big company only wants to help you, and there's nothing wrong with it. Like, I'm not black and white on either one of those issues, but how can you hold both of those opinions? Same people, both of those opinions so grippingly, I don't know.
Double think.
But
that is described exactly in 1984. The ability to hold two exactly like self-destructing views simultaneously and believe both.
And believe both of them, yes.
And believe both of them.
Yeah. So the mark of an intelligent man is to be able to entertain an idea that he does not, without believing it. Entertain an idea without believing it.
Dude, you should write that down.
I should, because I keep slaughtering that quote. Yeah, exactly. So that's my question. I usually use that as kind of a roadmap to be like, oh, well, this person likes this, so I've kind of logged away that this is the kind of thing that person would like. Russia today. And then they're like, well, anti-Vladimir Putin. I'm like, wait, something in my map doesn't add up because I would put those in the same box and you're not.
Isn't Vladimir Putin pretty well liked, I had thought, compared to past rulers of Russia?
According to who? I don't.
Molyneux.
I've heard both. Really?
Yeah.
Stefan. Oh.
He's killed less people. Like I think he's killed the least of his own people. So they're like, he's all right.
Whoa. All right. Look at this. Look at this guy.
What is this?
Constantine says only in 2017 is RT more reliable than CNN, and then he's explained it used to be Russia Today. They changed it to RT in 2011. Funny that. Right in time for the election. Where a certain someone said, "Hey, after the election, I can give you a little more leeway and wiggle room there, Russia. After I become president for my second term, Russia, I can be a little more open and easy to like removing, I don't know, what is it, Poland's missile defense system? I might find my way into removing that after the election. Hit me up then. Oh, and by the way, you should change Russia Today to RT. Just saying. Yeah, that all happened." You heard it here, folks. Putin is sane compared to Russian leaders. In general, I suppose is what he means. Compared to those Russian leaders, Putin's good.
Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
There's probably a big bureaucracy there.
I don't know. Did you hear Trump's speech in Poland? Was it today or yesterday? Nope. I heard snippets of it. Everybody I was listening was just like, check out this part. It was cool. Check out this part. It was cool. Essentially, it was just a giant tone change from the idea of like international apologetics of our previous president who went around like a world tour the year and a half after his election and was just like, hey, we're sorry we're so terrible in America. Hey, we're sorry America's such a terrible place. Not in so many words, but that's pretty much what he went around and did. We're so sorry we think American exceptionalism is a thing. So there was just a tone change. He went in and we said, hey, we're going to try and get you that missile defense system back, seeing as how Russia, who we're not buddy-buddy with, contrary to popular belief on CNN, he talked about efforts to halt Russia's territorial, these are bigger words than I usually use, aspirations. There you go. Kind of anti-Russia stuff.
Crimea.
Stuff Putin.
Crimea, right?
Yes, and Ukraine and Syria, where they're trying to like, dig in.
Like Assad.
They're trying to make them all speak Russian. Yeah, so he said a lot of things that were very like, hey, America, we're not going to be pushed around by anybody, even Russia. So Putin background is actually, this is Amor Pizza, Putin background is
probably limited by I'll read it. Putin background is actually pretty fascinating. He's the best leader Russia has had in a long time. Still doesn't make him a good man, but still doing good things for Russia. I think that is horrible. I think that is terrible.
What?
A nation's leader doing things to benefit that nation.
Oh, yeah.
Why would anybody
It's
elect
called
him?
nationalism.
Yeah, it is.
It's like thinking your tribe.
They're probably all white, too.
It's like labeling your tribe as a tribe.
Pretty white.
Who was it? Was it? I don't think it was either of you that I was talking, which is weird. Who else would I be talking? I was talking about the idea of small tribes and how they like, it was Moana. On the movie Moana, my wife was like, they don't have money. Like you're watching this and they just kind of like, oh, here's your coconut. Oh, yeah, I got some fish. Like they just sort of do what they need to do. And I'm like, yeah, in a small group of people that works because you all agree on the direction you're going and the way things should work. But if there was another tribe on the island that did things way differently than they did, they might need some sort of trading agreement with these other people, because I guarantee they wouldn't be like, "You want to come live with us?" You know, like, "Oh, I don't know you,
Yeah,
but
some
hey, we're all people."
like round houses. Some people like square houses.
Because
you know?
that's
like, I don't know. They would
roundhouse. I was thinking Chuck Norris. I don't. Who has a roundhouse? Lighthouses and teepees. Is that what you're talking about?
I don't know.
These Indians lived in lighthouses. These ones built teepees. That was the big disagreement. No, so the difference is people group themselves into groups, and that's and the United States is about as big a group as you can get.
It's a group of
without
groups.
it. Yeah, it's a group of groups. Exactly.
Important.
It's not a melting pot. It's a stew. It's not like cheese, man. There's
I
chunks
like that.
and there's flavors in there, and it's I bit into a pepper. You know, like it's not all the same thing. But
that was Texas.
Yeah, hot down there. But that's about as big a unit as you can get before you get you start sprouting up separations. We split in half at one point and started fighting with ourselves. We were too big and too many people disagreed too vehemently with each other on basic issues, and we no longer were a giant community anymore. So I completely forgot why I started on this tangent. What were we talking about with Russia? And leaders doing things for their countries. Yes, because at some point we're not all on the same page. You get to a larger scale where we're not all on the same page. We don't all want the same thing. I mean, look at our election. We didn't all vote for the same person because we all agree that everything should go in the same direction. So the idea that Russians won't do exactly what Americans think they should do, and that's bad, is, obviously that's insane. Nobody thinks that. Nobody thinks that at all. Like one world order where everybody does the same thing with the same goal
Sounds
in
good,
mind.
dude. One world currency. That's what I'm
Everybody
looking
hold
forward
hands.
to.
Let the
Who's in the
solar
in the
energy
oceans,
just
bro?
zap through you, and the computers will live, and we're all in vats of goo.
Well, wait a second. This sounds familiar. I like that.
Thank you. Hey, there you go.
What?
You got one? Send it over to him. Sorry.
I got a word. Yeah.
Yeah, send
But
it over to
the
him.
Google definition's way better. Ninja words, dislike. I don't like the way you do things. How
You know
about
what
that?
then?
Go
You know what then?
separate.
It's okay. Next week we'll just have you plug your computer into the system so that I can share your screen and you can Google it and bring it up. But for today, we don't have that. So
All right, sounds good, dude.
we're gonna ninja words it today. All right, that about wraps up our discussion on that topic of CNN and them stepping in all of it, all the way into Russia. And let me just catch up on the chat real quick, and then we will go into closing ceremonies. Putin is seeing compared to Russian leaders.
Globalist interdimensional pedophiles.
This is why combining cultures destroys a nation. It brings war. Globalists, interdimensional pedophiles. Yes, exactly. Thank you. What was it? Alex Jones.
Yes. The very same.
Globalists. Them darn globalists. All right, and we're caught up. Let's go to our ninja words.
Wait. What?
Right as I switch over to his screen, he starts Googling something else.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was funny. Perfect timing.
All right, the word's truculent. Truculent.
You submit these to the internet, I swear.
Nah,
you
dude.
submit these into the internet and go, make this a
Good
word.
to
I want to
know.
use it on the...
To know.
I want to use this on the stream next week.
See, this definition is just so different than what Google gives. But here we go. Truculent adjective of things or persons that are cruel or savage and deadly or destructive. I'm going to go to Google now. Here we go.
Wait.
It gives a less... See.
Are we not looking at Google?
No, I wasn't. I was using ninja words just then.
He just...
Well, here we go to Google now. Eager or quick to argue or fight,
Can you
aggressively
zoom that in a little bit?
defiant.
I can't see it.
But I guess...
Thank you.
I don't know.
Okay,
It's a bodacious word. I don't know. I got the impression... No, that's it. Ta-da. That's the word.
That's it?
I got the impression
Oh.
it was less violent, though. But ninja words made it seem so violent, so I didn't want to use it.
Well, it's ninja words.
Yeah.
It's like,
Well,
what
yeah.
does spoon mean? Spoon. I think you could kill somebody with it if you sharpen it. You know,
It's true,
it's ninja words.
I like it. It's good to use, though. I feel like the legacy media is positioning themselves in a very truculent stance. There it is in a sentence.
Okay,
Boys.
so let me. Okay, so adjective, truculent. Where are the synonyms? They're in a very barbarous. Barbarous, is that how you say that word? Barbarious?
No, you got
barbarous.
barbarous.
In a very cruel stance. They're in a truculent. Ah, you moved it. I was going through the synonyms. That's all right. Antonyms, synonyms.
They've just been very bellicose lately.
Have they now?
Yep.
Picking and ripping for a fight.
You got it.
All right. All right. Well, we're on the hour. We're ending about on time. Thanks so much for your discussion in the chat. It is appreciated as always. We will be here again next week, Thursday, 9 p.m. Most of us will be here at 9 p.m.
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely. Thanks. Let's see. Constantine, appreciate you joining the conversation in the chat. It's nice to see new faces here on the show, or voices. His avatar's not a face. You got half of Amor Pizza's face, and then you've got Constantine the Mediocre. I like it. All right, so
your friends.
Yeah, this has been. Whoa! Nope, I almost rolled the intro again. I'll get used to this eventually. This has been the Matt to Matt Show. We will see you guys next week when we talk about more things that everybody should care about. Until they do, where was it? You saw me pull this up at the beginning of the show and it disappeared. Music, no. Downloads, no. Where is it? Bring up another topic we can talk about for 30 seconds.
Okay, so here's something I thought was interesting. It was a perspective shared with me. I stole it. I'm not going to claim credit for it, but refugees. Well, there's another tangent there in itself. No, refugees are typically compared to those immigrants in the 1900s in America. I forget the exact year. Was it like the 30s or something? That a bunch like the Ellis Island years.
Pretty sure it was a little bit before that. It was before the
that would make total sense. Before the World War.
No, the Great Depression. Thank you.
Okay. But regardless, you have to look at where they came from. Why did they come to America? Because they wanted to be in America. Why does it seem like so many immigrants today go to countries that they hate? Something to chew on.
Here's a quick question. The people who came into Ellis Island, right? Was the government handing them free things? Was there an office you walk up to and they're just like, "Do you need a house? Because we have houses. Do you need money? Because we have money." Until you can find your own money, we have money for you. Is all we're saying. How many kids do you have? Because you get more money per kid.
Right.
Was there? Or
no.
Or were they like,
no,
I have come to sell my bread and baguettes.
But I like to leave that to the imagination. As people
someday my children will learn to read, and they did. There's a difference between then and now.
So you come to this show for the last 30 seconds.
Difference. Yeah. This is how we keep tangents from happening.
Take that, CNN.
All right. Good night, everybody.